Hello, and welcome to OSINT Today. I'm Gianluca from OSINTinvestigate.com. It's Wednesday, the 11th of March, 2026. In this episode, a widening Middle East war reshapes global risk calculations. Artificial intelligence becomes a new battlefield for disinformation. And unrest in Baghdad highlights how quickly regional tensions are spilling onto the streets. Let's begin. Story 1. The Middle East War and the Global Ripple Effect. The biggest geopolitical story right now is the rapidly escalating conflict known as the 2026 Iran War. The war began after large-scale strikes by the United States and Israel on Iranian targets in late February. Reports suggest that Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, was killed during the opening phase of the operation. Since then, the conflict has expanded across the region. Iran has launched waves of missiles and drones toward Israel and several Gulf states, including the UAE, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. Shipping through the Strait of Hormuz has slowed dramatically as insurers and shipping companies reassess the risk of operating in the area. Energy markets are already reacting. Analysts say global oil prices are carrying a significant geopolitical premium, reflecting fears that a prolonged conflict could disrupt one of the world's most important energy corridors. For intelligence analysts, the key question is escalation. Will the conflict remain a regional air campaign, or could it draw in additional powers, including European states or regional militias? Either way, the strategic environment across the Middle East has changed overnight. Story 2. AI and the new disinformation battlefield. While missiles and drones dominate the physical battlefield, another war is unfolding online. Across social media platforms, analysts are reporting a surge of AI-generated content related to the conflict. Some of the most concerning examples involve fake satellite images that appear to show destroyed military facilities or troop movements. In reality, many of these images are entirely synthetic, generated by artificial intelligence, and then circulated as supposed evidence of battlefield developments. For open-source intelligence researchers, this presents a growing challenge. Satellite imagery has long been considered one of the most reliable forms of OSINT. But when realistic images can be fabricated in minutes, verification becomes far more difficult. The result is what some analysts call a verification crisis. Information spreads faster than it can be authenticated, and false imagery can shape public perception before analysts have time to debunk it. In modern conflicts, controlling the narrative may be almost as important as controlling the battlefield. Story 3. Unrest in Baghdad. The regional tensions are also spilling into the streets. In early March, protests erupted in the Iraqi capital during the 2026 Baghdad clashes. Hundreds of demonstrators gathered near Baghdad's fortified Green Zone, home to government institutions and the U.S. Embassy, following reports of Khamenei's death and the strikes on Iran. Some protesters attempted to push through security barriers. Iraqi riot police responded with tear gas and other crowd control measures as clashes broke out near key entrances to the district. Several police officers were injured and multiple arrests were reported. The incident highlights a familiar pattern in Middle Eastern geopolitics. Regional wars rarely stay confined to battlefields. They often trigger protests, militia mobilization, and political unrest in neighboring countries. For intelligence services monitoring the situation, Iraq remains a key flashpoint. Conclusion. Taken together, today's developments reveal three defining trends. First, the Middle East is entering a new phase of instability. Second, artificial intelligence is transforming the information battlefield. And third, local unrest can quickly amplify regional conflicts. For analysts and OSINT investigators, the challenge is no longer just gathering information. It's separating reality from an increasingly sophisticated stream of digital deception. That's all for today's episode of OSINT Today, the March 11th, 2026 briefing. I'm Gianluca from OSINTinvestigate.com. Stay curious, stay analytical, and we'll see you next time.